Hi, this is Brittany, and welcome to the Reclusive Blogger Interviews. In this episode, I speak with musical prodigy Neil Nayyar, who at the taping of this episode plays about 120 instruments from all over the world. Neil was just at the beginning of his second Grammy Camp attendance, and the 17-year-old was eager to talk about many of his upcoming projects, some of which include a new album and book, and scoring music for various films. We chatted about his upcoming projects, Grammy Camp, music influences, and more in this episode. I would like to ask you about how Grammy Camp is going. I think you've only been there for one day, right? Or how long have you been there?
It's been one day. Today is the second day of Grammy Camp, and I just came back from there, so it was wonderful. Great experience. Got the chance to work with band members, and I can't wait for tomorrow. And I think tomorrow we'll be creating our own songs because for these 2 days we were just playing songs, from different artists. But tomorrow we'll be just, creating our own songs with other tracks because we have 8 career tracks, including audio engineering, music journalism, music business, electronic music production. Then we have songwriting, vocal track, instrumental track. So tomorrow we'll be working with the songwriting track so that, they can help us to create our own song.
Oh wow! I didn't know they did all that at Grammy Camp. That's amazing, and for anybody that's a young artist to get all that experience at such an early age is incredible. What songs did you get to perform today?
So today we were performing "Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight." There are 2 versions. One is the Eric Clapton version, and the other one is the James Taylor version. So we performed the James Taylor version, which is a bit sped up, than the Eric Clapton version. But, everyone enjoyed it. And I believe yesterday, I don't remember what the artist was, but we were performing like a song, kind of like an R&B, like a funk style, and I was playing the alto saxophone with the trumpet player. So it was nice, I was only the guitarist, in the band, and I was also playing saxophone, so I could only play one instrument, at a time. So I was playing saxophone, and it was wonderful. People enjoyed it. The students enjoyed it because we have 3 different bands, so. That's how it is. But it was wonderful.
Yeah, and I saw that your father had sent over that you had made it onto the Grammy Museum page on Facebook. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. I think one of the social media handlers, they said, would you mind doing pictures for us? I was like, sure, why not? I said, okay, let's do it. Then I took the picture. Yeah, it was fun.
And just I wanted to say a little bit more about the Grammy Camp. Is there something within the camp are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to learning new things. And for the listeners who are listening right now, I'll tell you a little bit about Grammy Camp. So Grammy Camp is a 7-day non-residential music industry program, for high school students who are interested in pursuing their career in music. And this is my second time this year. Last year, I did audio engineering. And from last year's experience, it was great. I got to learn about audio engineering, how to use the mic, how to record, musical artists and other stuff. So yes, as I mentioned, it started yesterday and it's going to happen till July 22nd at the University of Southern California, USC. So as I mentioned about, we also have guest artists come every year. So last year we had Silver Sun Pickups, Lauren Spencer Smith. And this year we'll be having actually today a guest artist came. His name is Paul Klein. He's from the band Lenny. I think one of their songs has around 320 million streams.
Streams, yep.
Yes, correct. So I was there. I was listening to his interview, and then he performed a song for us. And I mean, his vocal was fabulous. It was just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow we'll be having Gracie Abrams, and then we'll be having G Flip, a popular Australian singer, Moore Kismet, a popular DJ, and we have Lizzie McAlpine, who was featured on the Jimmy Fallon show and also the Jimmy Kimmel show. So are you asking about like how my journey started, or like?
Just kind of go into that journey. And
so how my journey started, when I was in the mother's womb, my dad, he was at the library looking for a book, and he just chose one book randomly and started reading it. And after reading the book, he read one line which mentioned, if you play Mozart's music on a tiny speaker by the womb, then a child will become a musician. So my parents tried an experiment, and when I was around 2 years old, my parents, they took me to a free drum class in a music school. And after one drum lesson, I was playing the drums like an old pro. I was like, how did I do that? My parents and my teachers were shocked. They were like, they were just shocked. And after that, my parents decided to give me another instrument, which was the guitar. And after learning the guitar, at a spot, I felt like I think I can learn a few more instruments. So then after the guitar, I went to the piano, to the flute, to the saxophone, on and on and on. And at the age of 12, I made my very first world record for playing 44 musical instruments in 2017. And after that, I decided to break my own world record for playing 107 instruments from around the world at the age of 13 in 2019. And currently, I can play around 120 instruments.
I kind of dabble in music myself, but I mainly just write about it. But it's just fascinating to me how someone's mind could just pick up an instrument, just one alone, but then pick up over 100 instruments. And I just kind of want to talk to you more on that. And then also, if you maybe have like a favorite instrument that you prefer playing at certain times, or just kind of more into how that kind of works, because it's fascinating to me.
Yes. So my favorite instrument would probably be sitar and saxophone. But beyond that, I would say all of them are my favorite, because the reason is that I get invited to different festivals or performances, like, for example, if someone invites me for a Chinese festival, I will have to bring my Chinese instruments, Indian festival, Indian instruments, Arabic festival, Arabic instruments, Irish instruments. So, all my favorite, but, it depends, like which event I get called to or which project I'm working on. So my answer would be all of them.
I guess I kind of want to know more about some of your influences or inspirations and things like that too.
So I got, I get influenced by many artists, including, bands, including Imagine Dragons, Coldplay, The Beatles, Rolling Stone, artists, including Bruno Mars, Adele, you have Sam Smith, and film composers, including Hans Zimmer, one of the top film composers in Hollywood, Lauren Balfe, who composed for Mission Impossible film, and also A.R. Rahman, who composed music for the film Slumdog Millionaire, which won an Oscar. So those are the artists who I get inspired by. So yeah.
Since you had mentioned, started mentioning film composers and stuff like that, when I was sent some notes on that we could talk about, I know you do have some upcoming projects, and some of those are composing for film. Can you talk a little bit about that and how exciting that is, actually?
Yeah, sure. So yes, so film composing is a new thing. I started this, I think, last year, if I'm correct, and it's a great process. It's different, actually. Like mostly, for example, if you're creating a song, you would have to grab a music sheet or like a software which has a music sheet and just write notes and stuff. But in film composition, the interesting thing is that you are composing on the spot. So let's say I have a scene, let's say of the Mission Impossible or Batman or any scene, right? Let's say I have a Batman scene and it's a fight scene. Now, in my keyboard, let's say I had a string instruments, like an orchestra, like full of strings, right? And now I'll have to play the chords or play the music and try to look at a scene and try to see, which chords match. Like in chords we have major, which are happy, minors, and minor. Yes, correct. So we have to find out, what we can add, or maybe we don't need chords. We might need something else, like notes, or we might need it depends. So on the scene we're looking for, what is different? It's like a different strategy, for me. From there I working with a production, which is called Mad Wife Productions, and I'm working on 3 films at the moment. So the first one, which I'm working on still, is called Beyond the Door, which is a thriller suspense film. The second one, which I'm working on, is called Last Date, which talks about 2 serial killers. And the last one has an unknown name yet, and they are still finishing up the editing. But in the meantime, they just gave me like a rough scene to just compose for. And I'm working on one feature film with a different production. So it's called Lottery. It's a full feature film, and I heard that the shooting will begin probably this year or by the end of this year. And I heard that this feature film is being directed by a sister of a Bollywood star. So I can't wait to meet her and can't wait, to meet the director. So it'll be great. And what else? Yeah, I think at the moment that's all I have for film composing. But my goal would be, to compose for big films and, work with big composers, including Hans Zimmer and Lauren Balfe and Rahman. So.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer is one of my favorites film composers. I like Hans Zimmer, and I also like John Williams. Those are 2 really fantastic composers there. Well, John Williams is he's up there. He's been doing a lot of amazing work forever.
About Hans Zimmer, one thing I didn't know, because mostly film composers, they always, write music sheet, for the, for the musicians so that they can, record. But Hans Zimmer, he does not read music or write music. He just composes. Like he just he just thinks, okay, I need this kind of combination of notes put together and give it to them. It's like I didn't know that before, and I was so fascinated that all these films he has done so far, like Inception, Dune, those movies, I was just fascinated. It was so shocking,
Mhm.
I'm just shocked, just amazed, that he's just doing
Yeah, he
without
does
musician.
everything by. I forgot how they said he did, 'cause I learned this watching the interview with him. But it's all just like it's done on how he feels, and it's all done through a program that he created, I think.
Yes, I
And
believe so.
yeah, and that was fascinating to me. But then if you read or actually watch or read a lot of interviews from a lot of pop musicians or just rock musicians and popular musicians, a lot of them are not, well, I wouldn't say they don't know music theory per se, but a lot of them don't specifically read music. They just kind of go with the feeling, and they learn guitar or whatever instrument and not necessarily a musical theory way. So it's
Mhm.
interesting. I know a lot of people have a lot of mentors and things when it comes to when they're in music and things like that. What is some of the best advice that you've been given?
that is a that is a good question. I think the best advice someone gave to me, man. When there was one performance I did recent. I did, like, I think it was last 2 years. I don't know. He said to explore new genres of music. Try to collaborate with them. And that's the thing he gave me. And also he told me one thing about like adding positive statements when I'm performing, which also helps. So I took his advice and I tried to implement that in my music, and it helped. People, I've seen positive reviews. People like it. So that's one of the advice I got from people. Um, I mean, I love them, but right now I don't. I can't remember one of them. But I mean, that's the only thing I remembered. But actually, one advice I would like to give for the listeners who are listening to this podcast right now. Um, so, if you're a musician, or someone who is interested, who is in their career, um, focus on your passion, dedicated, work hard, and work smartly, and you will reach the heights. And another advice I would like to give is, so if you're a parent, and you, like, have children, so if they are interested in music, one advice I would give is that you take them to a music shop, like Guitar Center or any other music shop, and let them discover, let them try different instruments, and see what they like.
Yeah, I was talking I was doing another interview with a musician, and he was saying how music, when he was a child, and how he had music around him as a child, and how much that really was an integral part of his upbringing, and that kind of changed the way he saw things as an adult,
Mhm.
and how also it helped him with his playing when because he was a solo guitarist, and now that was really something that he misses. And when he sees a lot of kids today, they just don't have that. But he understood that it can be hard for some parents, and for certain reasons. But yeah, I had mentioned that too, that I got that aspect when I was a kid, the chance to try different things in the art realm, try painting and singing and instruments, because I play guitar, but I'm not that great, but I still play it because it's just fun. But I still think that kids should get that chance to at least try to see, well, maybe I can be this and do this, and just at least try it. So I would agree.
Yeah, I know. A lot of students, who use music as a hobby. Like, I mean, it's good to have fun. You can, like, you can use music for fun, or you can use it as a professional career. Depending on what do you want to do. So yeah, it's the important thing is that you have to have fun when you play music. If you have no fun, then
Hmm.
it's no use for playing music. So you should always have fun. It doesn't matter if you play a wrong note or play the wrong note.
Yeah.
You just keep going. I'm telling you, I have done a lot of mistakes. From performances. And I just learn from them. Thing is
Hmm.
that because the thing is that one thing I learned is performances that the audience has a very great hearing. Because they're always listening. But mostly, let's say you do like a wrong note or wrong chord or something. The audience will notice because they're having fun. They're in a
Yep.
groove. They're in a jam. They're just going with the flow. So the wrong note, that's fine. You just keep going, go with the flow. Just smile like it didn't happen or something like that. That's the thing I always do. So yeah, you just
Yeah,
have
and
fun.
I noticed now that I've kind of gotten back playing my guitar, and I'm just kind of doing it for fun. I don't know, I might start releasing some music with the guitar because I was kind of releasing other music, but it's kind of helped me unlock a part of my brain, which has made it a lot easier for me to write about music because that's what I normally do. I kind of write about music, but you kind of
Yeah,
see when they've done all those studies about how music, when you're playing it, it does help with other aspects of in life. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. And also, as I mentioned, anyone at any age can learn music. There's no limit, and
Hmm.
yes, so like for you, instance, you want to, record the original song. I know a lot of musicians, they're very good players, but they don't want to post because they think it's bad. And I
Yeah.
say, just post, see how it reacts,
Hmm.
and then you know, one time I didn't want to post a video because it was bad, but when I posted it, it got a good review. Like I think it got thousands of views. I think around
Hmm.
106,000 on Instagram. So that's why sometimes bad. Like if you think it's bad, don't think it's bad. Just post it, see how it is. Just because if you don't post, then you won't see what people like. What your audience is. So just post whatever content you like. You say, oh, I can post this. Or it's bad. You just post it. Just see how it goes, and then gonna go from there. And that's how you grow your social media. By the way.
Yeah, and yeah, because sometimes the things that I post and I think it's gonna do well never does well, and then I just post something random like, well, why did that do well? You don't know because you're thinking
Yeah,
like in your brain, you're
yeah,
not realizing that everyone else is not you, and they have completely different mindsets and everything. So yeah.
yeah. I think the main part about social media is that you have to stay consistent because
Hmm.
if you are not consistent, then you'll just go back
Yep.
to the basement. So I mean, sorry, not basement. I mean to the base.
Yeah.
So if you want to grow your followers,
Yep.
increase your views, your likes, comments, shares, then you have to stay consistent. Post every day. Doesn't matter if people say that the worst day to post on Instagram is Sunday. Just post on Sunday. See how it goes. You may never know. It might become viral. So just keep going. So yeah.
Yep. And I guess you've kind of mentioned it and you've kind of talked about it, but what does like music and the craft of songwriting mean to you? I guess kind of holistically, or just being able to express yourself in that way.
Well, with music and songwriting, this songwriting this new thing actually, which I'm using in my album actually. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, songwriting is different. You just in songwriting it's different. You get to like create your own song. For example, if I'm looking outside right now, right now I'm like outside. Let's say, actually, right now, like in front of me, I'm outside the USC. I'm looking at the apartment, so I can like make a song about thinking about, oh, I see cars, I see students walking by, uh, I see a person dancing right now. How do you say? I don't know how they're dancing. Like that. And then from there you just create like a verse and a chorus, and then you just fix it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting thing. And I wrote this one song called what's this called? Yes, it is called Chasing Dreams. It's kind of like a Hollywood song. I can sing one of the chorus. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to make that move. That would be the price I pay for love. So that's the chorus of the Chasing Dreams, which I just sang about just now. So that song talks about, my dreams to Hollywood and talking about the struggles and everything for that song. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention is I am working on my very first album, which is called Breaking Barriers. And in this album, as I mentioned about the song Just in Dreams, but there's also another special song, which is called Exploring Worlds. And in that track, I recorded acoustically all 107 musical instruments. And I don't think no one has recorded 107 instruments in that track. So, yeah, and it took around 3 or 4 months to record, because,
Wow.
I guess I have a Honda HRV, and most of the instruments big instruments cannot fit in that car. I have to drive back, record an instrument, bring them home, bring another sort of instruments, record them. It was a hassle, but, it was worth it. It was a nice experience.
Yeah, dedication. That's
dedication.
Yep.
Dedication, don't stop. Yeah, and it has 3 different genres, starting with a pop and rock feel, going into an Irish genre, and then an R&B genre. And other songs that are too, but I want to mention because it's a secret. And you'll know after the album will be released. And yes, about the album, right now it is in the final stages. Everything is set up. We're working on the artwork right now. And the artwork is fabulous. It's kind of like a AI, like an artwork, showing the barriers, just opening. So it's.
So, did you do the artwork, or did you have someone else do the artwork?
Someone. So actually, someone did the artwork on the AI. It means I have hired a person, who knows how to use AI with those kind of things.
Okay. Yeah.
So and then he, did from there, and it looks like that. But the charming thing about AI is that it looks like someone painted it, but it's not painted it because AI did the work. So fascinating, So yeah, so the artwork is almost getting done. I am planning to release my album, my book, which is called Passion to Exploration of 107 Sound Machines. And I made this book for all people, who don't know instruments. And in the book, I put little animation figures of me demonstrating the instrument, showing how it's being held, where is it from, what's the history behind this instrument, how many strings or reeds, is it woodwind instrument, etc., and those kind of stuff. And the reason why I created this book is because when I perform, different festivals, I recently performed at the Vietnamese festival, and there was one audience member. He came up to me and he said, "What is that instrument?" And I told him the name of the instrument, and then he said he never heard it before, and that's when it shocked me. People who live in their countries don't know their own instruments. It was shocking. And I'm like, wow, people don't know that instrument. It's very popular. I know that instrument is popular in our country now. It was just funny. And then I said, how about I create a book? In this case, they can just come from the book, and just explore instruments from different countries, So and that's the reason I created this book. So yeah, and you can pre-order this book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So yes, please do check this out. Back to the album. Yes, I'm going to release with my book, as I mentioned. This album will go for Grammy submission.
That's big. That's pretty major.
That's a big one. Yes. So I can't wait for that. I'm planning to submit before probably September. So before that, I think probably in two months or 1 month, I'll be able to release the album and then go for Grammys. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and the Grammys are fun too. I covered the Grammys this year. They're fun. So yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be very fun. So can't wait.
Yeah.
Hosey Music Awards. It is a premier music event within the independent music industry, recognizing and celebrating excellence in globally. So I got nominated in the category of Musician of the Year by the Hosey Music Awards. And this event is going to happen in Nashville for the 9th annual on October 22nd, Sunday.
I just kind of want to end it with one last question,
Sure.
and then that's it. What 3 words would you use to define your artistic self?
That's a good question. 3 words. Okay. Creative. Hold on. Creative, exceptional, and musically. That's 3 words I would say.
That's. I always like asking people that. It's interesting to see what words people pick.
Yeah.
But creative is the one that people choose the most. So yeah, I choose that one. So
yeah. I think you're the first person to ask me this question, actually.
Oh wow, I'm surprised on that one. It seems like that's a question that would be asked a lot.
Yeah,
I guess not.
know. Yeah.
So.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, check me out on socials. All of those will be linked in the description. Hi, this is Brittany, and you have been listening to the Reclusive Blogger Interviews.